1, discussion action items, approval of resolution for 2014-15 Gann limit. Mr. Bonet.
Oh,
Ready?
yeah. I'm sorry, Mr. Bonet, just to check, you're doing the approval of the resolution first for the board?
Yes.
Yes, the Gann.
Okay,
limit, yeah.
perfect, just checking. Okay.
So the Gann limit was named after Paul Gann, which was later his Proposition 4 was amended as part of the state constitution. It was intended to restrain growth on state and local governments, and they did this by linking previous year's expenditures to CPI growth and then growth for caseloads. So for school districts, it'd be as districts grew in ADA, your expenditures can grow. Well, this really has become a pro forma calculation because there's no longer constraints on governmental expenditures, because with the recent cuts and CPI continuing to grow and caseloads continuing to grow, it's really a non sequitur, so to speak. So with that, the calculation for
because
the,
we always are well under what the limit would be?
that's
That would-
correct. And if we're over, if agencies are over, they can transfer that overage to the state, into the state's bucket. So it's really a calculation that we have to do in terms of abiding by the state constitution, but it really has no effect on local school districts. On page 3 of the calculation after the resolution, you will find what our appropriations subject to limitation is $7,221,586. So there is no transferring of limits to the state. We're well under our adjusted appropriations limit, and our limit for 2014-15 is $8,707,000. So we'll be looking at that figure next year in terms of growth in state revenues and interest and growth in caseloads. But we're,
so- Yeah, so for this year, the 77.2 million, what does that represent? That we cannot spend more than that, we can't grow more than that, as long as we spend at least that, we're okay? I mean, what does that
our
number mean?
expenditures can't exceed, well, they do exceed that, but the adjusted limit for 14-15 was 8.6, and our appropriation subject to limitation was only 7.2. So the revenues that we get in from the state,
Yeah,
our expenditures didn't exceed those revenues,
yeah.
so there was no additional growth of,
So
we
it's
didn't.
really the 8.8 is don't spend any more than 8.8.
That's
And we
correct.
spent 7.2, so we're under the limit.
That's correct.
See you next year, kind of thing. Got it. Okay. That's
So with that, it's hopeful that the board will approve the Gann limit, so to speak.
So any questions for Mr. Bonet on resolution for 2014-15?
Have my questions answered.
No.
Any public comment on this particular item? All right. movement toward a motion would be great.
So the motion would be to adopt the resolution.
Yep. For-
It's part of this item, number 4-2014-15.
Correct.
So moved.
Awesome. Any second here?
Second.
And any objections to that motion to adopt, approve Resolution for 2014-15 Gann limit? Roll call, please, Ms. Emery?
Member Ash?
Yes.
Member Dwin?
Yes.
Member Pats?
Yes.
Vice President Affelt?
Yes.
President Dice?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bonet. And we'll now move on to item H.
Madam President?
Yes, ma'am.
May I ask you to be able to announce the vote?
Oh, please, for sure.
So for item H1, approval of the Gann limit, Resolution 4, the board approved the resolution by roll call vote.
Thank you, Ms. Emery. So we'll now move